Okay, it's been about a minute since I've had a problem with this thing. Okay, if you have a Toyota, your wipers won't shut off, your squirter won't work, well, you can watch this video, watch me ramble on for 10 minutes, or you can fast forward if you want to the end. I'll show you what the problem is. Turns out most of the problems happen when it's winter time. This time it's a especially fun problem. So I drive a lot in the winter, a couple 100 kilometers a day in the snow and slush. My wipers, all of a sudden I went to shut them off and they just don't shut off anymore. Wipers on, no reason. At the same time that happened, the squirter quit working. So there's only so many things I think it could be. Could be the switch on the inside. Could be to do with the wiper motor. Could be to do with the squirter motor or the wiring somewhere in between. I would say most likely it would be the wiring. Just because it's, you know, it's raining, it's wet, it's sloppy out, corrosion maybe, something like that. Because if it was the wiper motor, they wouldn't be on at all. And you probably would have heard funny noises or something coming out of it. So it's probably not the wiper motor. And I don't believe it's the switch. The switch is probably the easiest thing to go to first, but it's also probably $100 or so used. I don't know yet. So what I'm going to do first, I guess, is look for any kind of connectors with crappy wires. I looked all over on the internet. People have as many different ideas as there is parts on this thing. A lot of them would say relay. Well, one thing is I can't find a relay for the wipers. I don't even think one exists. The other thing is it just doesn't seem like a relay to me. To me it seems like some kind of something to do with the wiring. For the reason that the wipers stay on. They work on high, they work on low. That part of it works. But the fact that they stay on all the time, it's telling me it's not really a relay. And the fact that the squirter stopped working. So it's kind of directing me in the direction of the squirter first, I would say. Which is located here, passenger side front, is where the reservoir is. As far as wiring, I can't see any, so it's going to be one of those things. Okay, now it's a few hours later. I didn't see anything wrong under the hood. I went and picked up a wiper switch. I'm pretty sure that's not the problem, but I can just hope it is the problem, because then I don't have to lay in the mud. Otherwise, it would probably be the wiper fluid pump, which is located at the bottom of the reservoir tank. And it looks terrible to get at in the mud anyways. Let's change the switch and see if it helps. Okay, wipers on, no reason. One screw there. Turn the wheel, the other screw. And one more on the bottom, 3 Phillips head screws. You just keep pulling on this thing until it goes like that. The top one you don't have to take off, you can just leave it sitting there. The bottom one, just slide her out of there. Just so easily. It's easier with 2 hands, but, well, I'm holding the camera. Okay, now when you get to this point, actually you can just take that out. When you get to this point, you see two smaller flips. Okay, so if this doesn't work, then Basically, it cost me 40 bucks for a wall hanger and the knowledge that it's not this. 2 screws are out. Unplug this thing, slide it out. Slide her in, plug her in, and it was not the problem. See, low still works, high works, and yeah. Okay, that just confirms my suspicions that it wasn't that. I kind of knew that anyways, but I wanted to know absolutely for sure. Usually when you have a breakdown like this in the wintertime, it's always something where you have to go underneath the vehicle to fix it. So after changing the switch, it kind of went back to looking for bad wires, and the most logical place for the bad wire to be is where it was. It's down in the passenger side fender, down underneath where the reservoir for the window squirter is. There's a connector down there. Once you get the muck off of it, because they put it in a stupid spot, you'll see it's not even like a watertight connector. And the wires going into it, there's a blue wire, and it was completely broken off. So that was the cause of the whole problem. Only thing is, the blue wire, it kind of goes down on the inside of the fender well, or the inside of the fender, the inner fender. You can't get at it. It's just crazy where they put this wire. So it broke off, and it left me with about like 2 or 3 millimeters of wire I'm able to bear, and I can just temporarily fix it right now. I'll just wrap the 2 wires together and wrap a little tape around it, and try to fix it later once the ground dries out. Hopefully it'll last that long. I'll make another video later in a few months when it's fixable properly. Okay, the light might not be enough down in here, so I'm showing you right down by the headlight here. There's a hole. Yeah, I don't think it's going to pick it up. There's a hole in the inner fender well, and that is where the wire goes through. And then it runs up along the fender well and runs up into the wiper motor. So that wire, where it drops down and comes out the bottom, is where the issue will be. Okay, so front tire, kind of in the way, but not really. Okay, so as you can see, there's your signal or your marker light. Now, there's a big cheap piece of plastic here, and it's covering your cheap piece of plastic windshield reservoir, which is here. Now, if you could see this, there's a little thing here. There was a grommet in here. You squish it with pliers, and that allows you to take this connector out of here. It'll be all covered in mud. You might have to wash it off so you can see. But there it is, as you can see here. I added this on, but there's a solid blue wire coming out of this grommet. And it's about 2 inches out where it actually breaks. It corroded and broke. And that is kind of up inside, almost up inside the fender. So you cannot strip off enough wire and resolder it. You're going to have to add wire to it, or even go up to the top and put a whole new wire in from the top all the way down to this connector here. And then when you're done, you can just shove the connector back in. This is the little grommet on the connector right here that plugs into this hole. For me, when I do fix it properly, I will probably wrap maybe a rubber glove or something around that to protect it a little better. But yeah, it could be not the blue wire you have broken. You could have a different wire broken, but if the blue wire is broken, your windshield squirter will not work, and your wipers will just randomly come on, or they will just not shut off. One of the two, or both. Anyways, I hope you can see that. That's all I got to say about that. Okay, so as far as terrible Toyota issues goes, this is one that's right up there. I have more issues you might run across on my channel. One of them being cardan joints. They're in replace of U-joints on the drive shaft, and they're ugly. What was another one? Oh, load sensing proportioning valve. Nightmare. Okay, let's see if these wipers work now. Well, the problem was they worked all the time and they wouldn't shut off, and the squirter didn't work. So let's see if it works now. I just temporarily taped the wires together. Okay, so it works. Very temporary situation. Hopefully the mud dries up around here and I can fix it properly. Thanks for watching.